signals and stuff. KK4 GZQ. I've been a ham a very long time. Out here I've had since 57, I think. So I've been really on and off, and what have you, had some... Enjoy hearing your stories about what you did and what. I've got every country that's ever been around. I used to be a big contester and stuff. I never really chased DX. I'd work it on the contest. He'd work out DXCT on a weekend. But, I never sent in for any awards. The only ones I got, I won. I never sent in for Worked All State, DXCC, or anything like that. The only one I did was Love Tours. So, that's all, yeah, I'll be glad to listen to anything you got to say there, Kevin. I'm okay on the routine of getting home about 8 and what have you. So I was a real wild guy last night. I think I slept to about 10. And a lot of times I wake back up. Do the same thing. Happy New Year, honey, and give her a kiss. But I didn't even wake up this morning. So listen, thanks very much for your hospitality. You sound great as well, and I'm familiar, bro. You got more horsepower than you need with two 8877s or probably the whole left puppy back. So very good. And I think you said 1500. I wonder if you did that mod yourself, or they did the factory. I know they have a spot, looks like, for a second tube, but I don't know if they sell a kit for it or not. You might comment on that. Anyway, let me get it over to your friend. I'll just stick around long enough to comments. And the name here is Gary, Golf America Radio Yankee, QTH Wildwood, Missouri. K0 Victor with. So over to you, I didn't get you. 3. Kilowatt 0 Victor, United Whiskey. Have a great 2020, fellas.
VUW in the group, W3MMR. Yeah, the call is Whiskey 3, Mike Romeo, W3 MMR, and the name is Perry, Papa Echo Romeo Yankee. Perry with a P. And happy 2020, guys. God, it's crazy. It's already 2020. It's hard to think. But, yeah, we're located here in Chester, Pennsylvania, 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia, PA here in southeastern Pennsylvania, in the urban suburbs of Philadelphia, Delaware County, running in a non-200D SDR here this morning into an AL80B single 500Z at about 200 watts of carrier. Into a homebrew balanced L network tuner, and that is feeding a 600 ohm ladder line fed 80 meter doublet. That's up about 65 feet here. So those are the working conditions here. It is 38 degrees this morning, but it's a chilly 38 degrees. I was just outside, and I don't know, what happened here? I almost messed up there. It's a chilly 38 degrees outside this morning, but nevertheless, hopefully it's a beautiful New Year's Day, because it rained here the past few days. I mean, lots and lots of rain. Just soaking rain. And I guess the guys up north got some snow out of it. We haven't got much snow yet this year. Not like you, Kevin, out there in Wisconsin. I know you've gotten quite the amount of snow already. That's par for the course. We're living where you live. But the forecasts this year are saying that we're supposed to get about average snowfall. And that's not, Farmer's Almanac. I was meteorologists were saying, I don't know how much you can take that. Take their word, but I definitely don't want to take it as gospel, but we'll see. Usually when we don't have a lot of snow in the beginning of the winter, we end up getting a good amount of snow in January and February and March. Mid-January, February, and March. It snowed into April last year, but we didn't get any snow until March and April last year, so it was kind of weird. But that's climate change, global warming, whatever you want to call it. That's the way the cookie crumbles nowadays. So anyway, back up to you, Kevin. Sounded good out this way, and Gary sounded good as well. Lots of static crashes on the van. The van's awful loud this morning, but I'm having no problem with you guys. They're usually about 10 to 15 over. S9 into southeastern Pennsylvania this morning. And I'm also using a new microphone, a Behringer B1 with a new mic pre, a Personas Audio Box USB mic preamp here. So maybe you guys can comment on the audio, make sure I got everything EQ'd correctly, but I think I got it pretty much where I want it. So anyway, back up to you, Kevin. KA2ZNI in the group from W3MMR. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, OJ1G. Very good. W3MMR, KA2Z, and we'll say 73 to you. I'll throw it back your way in case you got a phone number too. Get out of there, and I just don't want to listen to it. 10 and files, and I'll 73, and I'll throw it back to you. Excuse me. And definitely want to wish you and your family a happy New Year out there. Almost sorry. Well, I was sorry to see your boy go back. I was happy to hear him on the air one morning there, and so I did get on the air. I kind of missed out on this. In my work schedule, I was working for that whole weekend. And a lot of people come up with somebody else had already laid the work on our website. And kind of for the winter time, I've gone and find all the parts and replace the transformer with a good transformer. I think stock goes up about 3,600, 3,700, something like that. Well, now we're riding at 4,000. And replace the fan drop and blower. It's about twice as and remove the filter capacitor board. That's kind of a new thing there, even for so the capacitor board and now we're good up to about 20 and we only run it 1,000, so plenty of headroom there. And these 87 if you really wanted to if you really wanted to jig on them the way that I got them set up, you'll get about 5,500 watts out of them. So they're just looking at there at 50 watts at peak. But that's what we build it for. 99.9% of the time we're on low-level AM linear here, and it's for over a year now, so it was a good fun. It wasn't too complicated. So that's the story on the well, we got Brian
snowblower, else it's in the service. So, snowblower out and take it down there, give it a good workout, and service it for another year. And I hate to see it come, but it's inevitable. Allow us to now. And we got fixed a couple of days back. So even with the snow that we got yesterday, and it was in the high school, everything, below the once we got the snow, so we can kind of mow it out and clean itself off. So I don't think we're going to have any snow for a few more days. So that's up. The older I get, the less I enjoy it. Yeah, I think we're over each area. If you're about out, that's fine. We'll say 7. Pick it back up. Wait for one more, if not. KH2 ZNI.
Website, I'm curious about your modifications to see what they did. I'm familiar with 77. I think not quite sure, but be curious to see what anyway, we'll say good morning. Thanks again for the hospitality. And just a minor correction, just in the future. I go by Gary, Gary, Indiana. But not who would guess from the legal name of Gerard. Just so you hear everybody else. I assume acceptable language. You guys have a great year, and thanks again. And again, the signals all held up just great. So back for a website or something that you used or someplace in common. K0VUW. Thank you.
I heard AJ1G in there. Go ahead, Chris, pick it up and then send it my way. AJ1G W3MMR. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Frank. Happy New Year to everybody else who's not being on frequency. Most guys are not real strong, but you're going to be just fine. Hope you had a good New Year's Eve. Pretty quiet one here. The biggest thing was we went out for a ride looking at Christmas lights and stuff early in the evening. I ran some errands and went down to Stonington Point and worked a bunch of Europeans, some of which were in the new decade and some were still in the old decade. Down in a 75-meter DX window had a very nice little section there. Kind of ran the tape from Theo over there in Denmark. OG4 Alpha, I think that's his call. Logs out in the car here. It was a nice night. Watch the ball drop and a little bit of TV and kind of ran down. Had Chinese food. And gonna have some. I always have herring at New Year's, and so I don't know if it's a Scandinavian thing or what, but ever since I can remember a kid having herring on New Year's, herring and wine sauce and a little sour cream on it. I did do a little bit of steak, while I was out doing the doing a Chinese food run right after 7 o'clock last night. Underway with my British wireless set number 19 Mark II strap-on knee key strapped to my right leg. It's always fun sending that way. But I'm going to get a little more of that today. Maybe a little while, go down early to Stonington Point and see if I can work some 40-meter CW straight key night, and then later on in the day we'll do a little so I assume Perry, your son, got back home down to, I believe, Carolina. Well, Carolina's okay. I'm sure looking forward to the next trip. Sounding good on the American and the new, I guess he says the Verge or P1, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds very good. I'm just here on the 28 600L. Showing about 125 watts of fully modulated here. Something's improved somewhere along the line. Nothing I can account for how it happened, but getting better modulation, a little bit higher power levels here. So over to you, and the mic is the Audio Technica 500 Alpha this morning. W3 MMR and the morning AM game. First day of the new decade. You know, it's interesting. H1G.
Yeah, I heard Gary in there too. Happy New Year to you, Gary. I won't keep it long here. And I'll send it up to Kevin. Kevin can send it to Gary. Gary can send it back to Chris, and then Chris back to me. Let me write that down before I forget. Hold on. I confused myself. Okay. AJ1K. And to Kevin. Then to Gary. Alright, real quick. Uneventful New Year's Eve on this end. I fell asleep on the couch at about 9 o'clock. Probably earlier than that, I guess. Went upstairs, went to bed, and woke up at midnight to fireworks in the neighborhood and all that stuff. My dog does not like fireworks, so he was at around midnight, and then fell back asleep. Woke up here bright and early, heard Kevin on calling CQ. So here we are. And yeah, Kevin, I wanted to get the boy on here, but he would not get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock. So I didn't even. I honestly, I got on. I think I did most of my operating in the morning. I usually do most of my operating in the evenings, but since he was here, it was kind of swapped. So I did all my operating here in the morning. But yeah, he was not getting up at that time in the morning, so maybe next time when he gets here. But I did teach him how to solder while he was here. Had him solder some components onto a little wafer board. And had him solder some LEDs to some wires, and so a 9-volt battery, and light the LEDs. And he was very excited about that. So that was real fun. So. But yeah, it was a great trip. I'm glad he came up, and he flew back to South Carolina on Monday. His flight left at 6 a.m. on Monday. So back out to you, Kevin, and then you can send it down to Gary, WD4AKA, KHZ and I in the group from W3 MMR. Happy New Year.
MMR. Once more, Gary and again this morning. To Gary down there, Happy New Year to and great to have everybody. Selling parts which I did not use. Came to my own parts. But also, we do a search for Bravo Nut Whiskey Delta KB9B. It was the original one that's apparently better than those. There's some other guys out there that put their own guns. But it was the one that's and it's really a simple step-by-step process. There's really nothing to it. Quote green wire off the transformer that Marathon tells you not use. Well, there's pretty good reason for it. The transformer is capable of the extra will not handle it. That's where we're doing it. And that'll give you this if you want the green wire. Dreaded green wire. That's why I say do not use. That actually works. The ramps. There's enough foresight that enough for the general amateur. They work as for what they are. It's cold there. So anyway, if you can hear me, I should turn it on. I'm hearing the other one. There he is you there. But I'm sure the band will around a couple of the others there a while back, and the northeast corner was not generally in that direction. It's pretty rough. You got to catch it just where you got to. So you can just jump on there every morning and hit the northeast. So a lot of times you can try to the way in there. He barely breaks an 8 or a 9 a lot of nights. See some better conditions return. Over to you, Gary. NKA to take it. Here in the group this morning, KA2 is ZNI.
There's a lot of QSB on the band. It's just not the greatest for me going. You may might be
Go ahead, Chris. Gary turned it up to you. W3MR.
Okay, very good for you. W3MR. And the group AJ1G. Good morning, everybody. Gary, you're a little bit late there, but hearing you on the peaks of the audio, or the peaks of the QSB, it's super noisy. I looked at the lightning. The only lightning significant lightning in the world is right off the East Coast. Pretty, I don't know, maybe 600 miles out. 600 miles or so to the east of us here. And yeah, we've done that too. I did some of that last night. Chinese food, I kind of dozed off. Woke up at about 11:30. So we searched a good channel to watch and found one and watched the New Year here on the East Coast. And stayed up and watched a bunch of stuff for a little bit. Back down. Head cold right now. I think I'm coming down. I just had a sneezing fit during this last rotation here, and my eyes were watering and everything else. I usually don't sneeze much, and when I do, though, I sneeze in a series of sneezes, and that's usually an indication something's going on, and expect the worst afterwards. So, yeah, pretty quiet here. We're going to take a ride today. We were going up to my son's. I don't think I talked to you very well. The night before last, and they get together with him and some friends for dinner, and halfway there up in the sky up ahead, and then my daughter said, turn around and go home. It's insane up here. There's all sorts of thunder and lightning. One time came through and the roads were very slick and dangerous. They decided to pull up the soiree then. I'd see them today. I'm up for to take a ride up, or they might swing by this way. Another good thing is the lake. Got some interesting. I didn't have it yet, but I'm going to do the whole six-pack to Son Dave and maybe crack one of them. In Rhode Island, there's two iconic beverages. There's Narragansett beer, and then there's, you got your cookies and cream milk. Well, Rhode Island has had this thing, Autocrat Coffee. It's like a local coffee roaster. Autocrat Coffee milk. And they sell the syrup. It's very sweet. It's loaded with calories, but it's very good. And it's basically a sort of coffee milk. Autocrat coffee syrup in your milk, and now they've come up with a Narragansett coffee milk porter beer. Yeah, I mean that just screams. And they're white cans too. They're cans. Got a six-pack of those. And see how I like dark beers. That sounds really good, and like I said, it's nothing more Rhode Island than the mix of coffee milk and Narragansett beer. Hi, neighbor, Narragansett. So over to you, Perry. W3MMR, AJ1G.
W4SVA.
W4SVA. Get this turned down. W4SVA acknowledged. I'll make a quick one, send it to you. Let me get you in the log here. And then you will send it to Kevin, KA2ZNI. Good morning to you. Name here is Perry. Located Chester, Pennsylvania. I think we've worked before. Yeah, we've worked. Oh, God, it's you, Chris. Sorry. Good morning, Chris. It's too early, buddy. Sounding good up here. Good signal out of Virginia this morning. What was I going to say? Okay. Good. Decent signal this morning, Gary. The static crashes are kind of taking me out a bit here, so I switched on WebSDR, and I'm still kind of having a rough time with you this morning, so it's not the best morning for low-power operation here this morning, Gary. But nevertheless, I'm getting about 75% of what you're saying, thanks to the QIX WebSDR this morning. And the 28 sounds great this morning, Chris. I don't know if you said, I think you're using the Audio Technica microphone. Sounds good to me here this morning. I was a fan of it with the D104, but I'm also a fan of it with the way you have it now. So you're definitely getting the 28 honed in with both mic setups there. And I think that's all I have for now. I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So sorry, but I'll pay attention this round. But down to you, Chris. Good morning. Happy New Year. And good signal this morning. W4SVA, and then you'll turn it up to Kevin, K2ZNI. This is W3 MMR.
Hey, good morning, everyone. W3 MMR in the group, W4SVA. Happy New Year. I'm still waking up here myself. I had the bedside receiver set to come on at 4 o'clock, and when it did, I laid there for a little while. And I thought, well, who turned that thing on, or who left it on, or something like that, and I rolled over to turn it off and realized it was time to get up. I'm still waking up. I was up right at midnight. I was laying in bed right when the clock changed over to midnight and fell asleep shortly after. I was down on 160 last night doing some straight key night CW. And then I came up here for a short time on 3885. Not a whole lot of activity, but a few other guys in here. Not activity like it's been in the past years. I remember 2 or 3 years ago it was hopping. There's just so many stations here, but last couple of years the activity's kind of dwindled off on New Year's. I'll send this thing on around, and then maybe I'll be a little bit more awake next time it comes around to Kevin, KA2ZNI. Go ahead and pick it up from W4SVA.
SVA here in the group this morning. We got the name up here. We're located up here in central Wisconsin, about 150 miles west of Milwaukee. We got a decent signal here this morning. You're about 5.9 to 5/9. And right now you and Perry are the only ones that can hear up here. But I don't think we've worked before, so a pleasure to meet you. And I only get in here about 2 or 3 days a week in the morning. Otherwise, I'm work midnights here, and my weekend happens to be in the middle of the week, so this is about the only time I can get on here. Thank you, everybody. And Happy New Year to you, Chris. Did about the same thing I did. I got home fairly early from my brother-in-law's. My wife stayed over there for a while. She got home at 11:30. And we went to bed. The clock changed time. Wished my wife a Happy New Year. And then I got 3 a.m. 3 hours later, so I could catch my schedule, my work week schedule. Boy, it gets so easy to flip things around when you're working midnights. And then on your days off, you kind of stay up all day with everybody else. It just goes. So I'm trying to. Anyway, bit up here. We're running the Flex 400 in 8877, 375. The 86 once in a while, inside and inside. About 260 foot long. We get on 160. And I was actually looking forward to getting on 160 last fall, but I got home and my wife doing other things. I never did get in there. So hopefully we'll be able to. So over to you, Gary. Yeah, threw out my other page there. And I couldn't remember the call. If I don't have them wrote down right here in front of me at the moment, I forget them there. Over to you, Gary. KA2, DNI.
This morning is having absolutely difficult time typing myself. I tried the horizontal wire and as I'm getting as Chris up in Stonington. Not really hearing much. Over to me because intonation of the voice changes. I'm able to make out my call if I'm through the voice anyway, but I can't really hear anything else really. But Chris, I'm very sorry. I'm just thinking that for me it's not going to be so watts, 35 watts here in the vertical. But anyway, the conditions make it better as we go as the morning progresses. I'll continue in the rotation and I'll just do the best I can here. Waiting for Florida.
Go ahead, Chris. AJ1GW3 MMR.
KD4NCA in the group AJ1G. Pretty much everybody that time around. Not real strong on except for Ferry, but that's right. You got very good, nice, high intelligibility audio going there. You know, people would not say it's broadcast quality, but it's definitely punching through when it can. And like I said, not horrible. And they like the factor out of it. I might even do some today. The weather's supposed to be pretty nice. Get started on putting a vertical together here. I wanted to put something with low angle radiation for DXing here on 75, 40, and 60, and what I have in mind, I got the halyard in place of 48 feet out of hanging oak tree. Going to put a halyard up and do wire vertical for 40 meters, and also have the ability to flat tape, horizontal 160 and 80. I'll start off with a 40-meter vertical, 75-meter videos as well section, and it's going to be set up so I can use more connect and disconnect the flat top piece. But I make it out of. I got a whole bunch of old. I think there's already heard just old landscaping type extension cords, the green ones. That's how easy it is to, I think I should be able to just cut a small slit in the sheet on those, and once I get it, I have the 3 internal wires, and one has like skin in it, and I should be able to rip down the sheeting all the way, rather than having to use a cutter knife to cut the sheeting. But I got a whole bunch of like 60-footers. So that should be almost long enough for 75, and certainly more than long enough for. I gotta make as many as I can. I'm gonna lay them on the ground at first and see how that. The ground's pretty frozen right now. Today'd be a good day to do it. I might have the time to go with these. If it flows as well as the Mobile kind of does on 40 and 75, I'll be very, very happy. I'm not really on the border here, but this is going to be running on the leach field. So it's going to be hopefully high conductivity. And let's see, I guess I'll turn it over to Perry next. Perry, is it first well, I run it with W3 MMR and the Group 18
Oh, Chris, it's funny you said that because I'm going to go to Wawa after this transmission, so I may not be back for my next one because we're going through here pretty quick, the rotation. So yeah, I am going to run. I was just checking the hours on my phone to make sure they were open. But yeah, I got to get me some soft pretzels and cookies and cream milk in my life in 2020. Oh yeah, well, okay. I didn't do much for New Year's. I didn't do anything last night. I had to work yesterday. We were supposed to get off around 1 o'clock. Didn't end up getting off until almost 4 because we were so damn busy. So I was extremely tired from work yesterday, and for some reason, I mean, obviously you guys know that I get up early every morning, but the morning on Monday when I had to take my son to the airport, and then I got up at about 3:30, went to bed, didn't go to bed till later because we were up ended up watching a movie until almost 10:30, so he didn't get much sleep, I didn't get much sleep. And, sitting at the airport for a few hours and going right to work after that, I was like hungover, tired, like a tired hangover, if that makes any sense, for a few days. And it was still, affecting me yesterday. I feel back to normal this morning, but after I got off of work yesterday, man, I came home and I hopped on the radio. I talked to Brent W1IA for a little bit. The band went long early, and then all of a sudden it came back. It went long at like 5 o'clock and came back around 6:30. So I talked to Brent for maybe 10 minutes and went and laid on the couch. Turned on a movie, a paranormal about the hauntings in Saginaw, Michigan, and watched that. Fell asleep during that. Like I said, went upstairs. And then I did the same thing as you, Chris. I woke up at about 11:52, and to the sound of fireworks outside my neighborhood. And what sounded like people firing off guns is what it sounded like. You can usually tell the difference between fireworks and firearms. So it sounded like people were shooting into the damn sky or whatever they were doing. But anyway, I ended up laying in bed until the clock struck 12 as well. I was on my phone and I made a Happy New Year post on Facebook right at 12 o'clock. And then texted my son, thinking he would be up. I don't think he was up. And I got no response from him, and then that was it. Then I texted my mother, I think, because she had texted me, and so I texted her back. But besides that, that's a very uneventful on New Year's Eve, which has been the protocol here for the past few years. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink. I don't go out. I can't remember the last time I stayed up past 10:30, 11 o'clock. The only time I've ever stayed up till midnight is when I couldn't sleep or I was sick or something. And definitely not staying up that late on purpose. That's for sure. So that was the story here on New Year's Eve. So I'll keep it moving along. I'll send it down to you, Chris. And I'm going to run to Wawa. Hopefully I'll make it back before before my next, when I come up next in the rotation here. But if not, skip right over me. So it'll go from AJ1G to W4SVA if I'm not back in time. So down to you, Chris. And still a good signal up here this morning. Having a little tough time with you, Chris, AJ1G here locally, and Gary. But I flipped on the web SDR for you guys, and I'm having no problem copying you now. So down to you, Chris. W4SVA, excuse me, in the group. We'll be right back from W3MMR.
W3MMR in the group W4SVA. All right, yeah, I was having a little trouble with Chris as well. And then about a quarter of the way through his transmission, he came up real well all of a sudden. So maybe the band is changing for the better.
Kevin was a little down in there too.
So maybe things are still a little strange in band conditions. Well, I'm still not awake. I know what I was going to say now. Yeah, AJ1G, Chris, I was wondering if you ever listened to SAQ. I think the last time I was in here in the morning, talking about listening to that, and I was curious if you heard it. I tried listening here. I got up at 2:30 Christmas Eve morning. Had the RAK regen set up, 17.2. Did not hear anything. Did not even hear a peep. I had the live stream from SAQ running on my phone as I was listening, so I knew they were transmitting, but I did not hear a thing. So I'm curious if you heard it. That was the first time I'd listened for it. I don't think I've listened for it in the past. And so I wasn't sure what to expect. I was looking at they have a listener's map on their website, and it looks like quite often SAQ is not heard on the East Coast, whereas it is in central U.S., which was kind of interesting. At least that's what I was seeing on the listener's map. You would think it would be the other way around, but maybe things are such for some reason that it skips over the... What I did for the antenna, I shorted the feed line together. That results in about 600 feet of, I guess, long wire antenna. And I've used that to listen on 630 meters, and it seems to work okay there as long as I turn off any local noise sources, invisible dog fence or anything like that. And then things get pretty quiet, and it's just atmospheric conditions which you got to deal with. And yeah, the RAK doesn't have a calibrated dial. So what I did there was I pulled out the old HP audio oscillator, tunes from 0 to, I think, 50 KC. I tuned that into 17.2 and checked it with the frequency counter, and then got the receiver on the frequency audio, which was kind of neat. You don't think of audio oscillators as RF, but I guess they are if they go high enough. It's electromagnetic radiation. Another interesting thing. Straight key night last night on 150W. I heard a UK station calling CQ, and so I called him with 100 watts from a Viking 1. I was on CW with the Viking 1. It's into the antenna I'm on right now. And I didn't expect him to hear me, but he did. Had to repeat my call several times, repeat the signal report several times. I think he got it. I'm not sure. But it was kind of neat. I didn't expect to hear him. I've been on the station on 160, especially last night. There was a little lightning static and other stuff going on. But he was making the trip, and I guess I did too with my 100 watts over the water to the UK. So that was fun. And then there's the usual bunch of stateside stations on 160. 80 was packed full. 80 was just almost unusable, so many CW signals. 160, there's a little wiggle room to kind of jump in and have a little good old CW fun. So coming up to you, Kevin, KA2ZNI, W4SVA.
W4SVA, KA2ZNI. My last one for a while because I can't hear 3/4 of the guys in there. But it's great to hear everyone on the spot. And wish everybody a happy new year. Started on the 160 activity there, Chris. Yeah, I wanted to get up full around 160 and after doing other things and kind of missed out on the so we'll have to try again next year. I'm really looking forward to it too. So I want to participate in 75 AM. So I want to wait to bring in the new year. Yeah, I love CW. I don't know anymore, but it's for years. It's pretty much all I used. Really. I'm glad a lot of those. And if you're not back, I'll be back a little bit later, waiting for the couple of others. Starts up here. 173, so you get. Yeah, happy New Year all the way around with the board here. So, to Gary over there. So, off the list for now. I'll be back in here probably a little bit later on. WD4. It's 73s, guys. To ZMI.
Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike.
Okay, there's somebody in there. I think Nathan coming back. But okay. And for again. Chris, you're very good down here. As well. But you've done good down here in Florida today. At least on my station anyway. And let's see, I guess Kevin just said he was signing tropics, we get all the traffic crashes, but it's probably about 48 degrees outside right now. The band to be quiet, it's not. Might sound very tropical. So there must be a lot of storms going on in the north, a lot of things clashing and colliding in it. So, Chris, back up to you. AJ1 up there in Stonington. This is WD4NKA Florida.
November 4, Echo Delta, Quebec. sign off the live stream chat is what I was hearing. That's what's coming out. So I got a QSL card from my latest from the W1 QSL. Card that I received. But you gotta be in a very local location. I cannot hear that effect. So all 2 PhD goes to me. What else I hear? So I that one open and select the millimeter in the by listening to the speaker in the bottom. And what was is I had to shut what the alert and what to off the battery. And what was right down how low in the spectrum. But I was going to be in more like a big type thing rather than decent noise. The signal got great. I don't know what's going on when they got the phone strap is like 200.
I completely lost Chris. Is he still transmitting?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I went out of work. I had a bus to John West.
This is Kilowatt Echo Whiskey.
Yeah, I think somebody's still transmitting. Stand by one.
KD4UMU.
Did Chris turn it to me? I completely lost Chris. I hear Dan in there. I can't hear Gary. I can't hear Chris. I could still hear Chris SVA, and I heard Dan in there, and I heard another breaker. But I'm going to take a standby here, guys. Eat on my pretzel, and maybe until some others jump in that I can hear. So, good morning to you, Dan, KD4UMU. I heard another breaker in there at the end of Chris's transmission there. So, I guess the first breaker that isn't KD4UMU jump in there. Turn it to Dan, KD4UMU, then it goes down to Chris, W4SVA. We'll be back in a few, guys. Just going to wait till things improve. This is W3MMR.
I think you turned this into the 8 station. That's what it's called. It was a K8 something.
Happy New Year. Call sign here, Echo Whiskey Mike, K8EWM. And I'm about 55 miles east of Cleveland. About 4 miles inland from Lake. I listen to you guys almost every morning from my bedside with a little shortwave receiver, but rarely do I go out of bed and get on here this early. Almost every week, but I'm on weekends. Conditions aren't so good here this morning to Perry and many others here on the frequency. The last station who I thought was going to turn over to me, I couldn't hear him so well at all. Made kind of a long transmission there, and I was having a lot of difficulty with him. So Anyhow, on an Anon 100D this morning, about 125 watt carrier from an ACOM 1000, and that's only about 36 feet, and the ends are at 20. So in the event that nobody's hearing me, I will get along here. KD4UMU, heard you upstairs. I don't know about now, though. Go ahead and pick it up. This is Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike.
KK4GZQ.
Well, I hear that big old signal in there. Good morning, Kevin. I will send it to you if you can send it around to W4SVA. And all right, hearing most of the signals in here pretty decent this morning. Of course, Chris was in there just a little light, but I mean, otherwise hearing everybody pretty good. Well, anyway, Happy New Year to everyone listening. I woke up this morning actually feeling pretty daggone good. Just a couple of drinks there last night, and that was, of course, early around in the evening. That was it. I was done. So went and crawled in there into bed, and I was woken up about right at midnight. The neighbor out here was very festive, and about 3 clips of ammo out of a handgun's what it sounded like, and then he was done celebrating. So at least I was conscious when the new year rolled in. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Kevin, around to you, KK4GZQ in the group from KD4UMU.
Okay, Dan. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you checking out. KD4UMU and KD4GZQ. Good morning, Chris. Hello to Perry.
And hello to K8EWM up there east of Cleveland. I didn't get your name, but you had a nice signal, and Anon 100E and the ACOM 1000 doing well there at the inverted V. I think you said it's about 36 feet. And my name's Kevin, and I think maybe you said you listened to us in the morning. I'm about 16 miles southwest of Lexington, Kentucky, and about over here about 50 miles or so directly east of Dan, KD4UMU. Dan, good morning to you, and hello to Chris over in Shenandoah Valley. Good morning, Chris. Sounding great over here. The band conditions seem to be really good. Happy New Year, everyone. Go ahead and get me in the rotation, and here it comes over to Chris. I'm running the Flex 3000 this morning with the Collins 30S1 at about 250 watts carrier. Inverted V at about 62 feet there at the apex. W4SVA to take it. KK4GZQ.
I'll be sticking in here in my spots. You guys. Down you go.
Good morning, Kevin. And the 8 station. I missed your name too. This is W4SVA. We don't want to forget about N4EDQ. He checked in there, I don't know, maybe before Chris. I don't know. I don't want to forget about him. And as far as SAQ, low noise is key. And I'll need to work on my antenna setup if I'm going to be receiving that low in frequency. For next year, maybe I'll be able to hear them. I certainly have enough room to run out a long beverage or some kind of really long receiving antenna, or maybe I should try a loop. But it's fairly quiet here when I turn off all the interference sources. It's pretty quiet. Now, there was a very, very weak carrier, almost undetectable, right on frequency. I mean, you couldn't get any closer to 17.2. That carrier was in there. And so I don't know if that would not have been there. I don't know if I would have heard them, or if it still would have been uncopyable. That and the RAK that has 2 little RF peaking trimmers. they didn't seem to want to peak. I could turn them all the way to the left and the signal level would increase, but I never got a peak out of them, so there's probably something wrong in the TRF stage in that receiver. But it still seemed to have plenty of sensitivity, so maybe that was adding to the problem. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But there's some work to be done for next year. If I feel like getting up early Christmas Eve to receive them. I think they transmit in the summer, too. Sometime I saw some stuff about activity in June and maybe some other times, but I don't know if that would even be worth trying around here in June. It would just be nothing but static. All right, I guess it comes over to Perry. And like I say, there was another station I'd heard in there that nobody acknowledged. It was N4EDQ. And good morning to Dan, KD4UMU. So W3MMR, go ahead, pick it up. W4SVA.
I'm still on WD4NKA.
Yeah, I'll get Gary, and I'll take my regular spot after Chris. So back down to you, W3MMR.
Okay, real good. And you're sounding good. Your signal's picking up again here, Perry. I think AJ1G, I think he's with the other stations coming in. I think that some folks are other folks in there. But that's pretty typical. And it's changing around. Good morning. Up in Kentucky and Kevin. Here too. Chris up there. Your signal is maintaining F9. Know that on the HC129X, after that there's the glass, and so a lot of you guys in Virginia and Kentucky, that area, mid-south, beats the glass on the cheetometer here on the 129. So I'll go ahead and turn it up to Perry then, and from the 30 watt down here in Deltona, Florida, and take a W3MMR or WD4NK.
All right, Gary. AJ1G, Chris, you still in there? Oh, okay. Oh. Let me get the food out of my mouth. I didn't hear him. I completely lost him, so I didn't hear him sign. Sorry about that, Gary. And good morning. And good morning, Ed. K8EWM on the announce. The announce sounds fantastic. Super, super clean. Very articulation. Just right, in my opinion. So very good on the anon. I hope you got everything there. Everything done. So it sounds great to hear you here again on the band. It's been a little while since we spoke here on the air. And Happy New Year to you, Ed and Kevin. Hope you got a good New Year's Eve yesterday. The general consensus for a few of us has been that we were all laying in bed as the clock struck 12. To wake up right around midnight and watch the clock hit 12 as we were laying in bed. I had the same thing happen to me. I don't know if you were listening earlier, but yeah, the neighborhood came around 11:50. Fireworks and fire alarms. It sounded like. My dog isn't a fan of fireworks or guns or loud noises like that. Even though he's a coonhound, a hunting dog, he does not like loud noises. So he was kind of freaking out, shaking, and in the bed, and I woke up and he was shaking. There. So I knew the fireworks were going off, and right after that, then here they came. So. Besides that, yep, I just had to work yesterday, and that was about it. I'm running my anon here this morning on the normal rig. And not too many plans today. Going to do a kind of relaxing. That's what I'm doing today. Just got back from Walmart drinking this morning. Got me some soft pretzels. Got a fresh cup of coffee. Cookies and cream milk. So I was going to buy. They only had two things on it, man. I was going to stock up for the week. I'm trying to get a case of it so I can send a bunch out to you guys. Some of you guys there who've been interested in it. Try it. About it, but who I haven't heard anything. I hope everything's all right up there. Just working hard. I know he works his butt off as well. So just happy New Year's to everyone. Over to you, Ed, on the Anon 100. K8EWM, and a happy New Year group.
Okay, November 4 Echo Delta Quebec recognized, though. They'll get you in here somewhere. Yeah, good morning, guys. Again, this is Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike, and sorry, I may not have given the name. The name is Ed, Echo Delta. And I am 55 miles east of Cleveland. I mentioned that already, in Geneva, Ohio. And yeah, I'm one of the parties, Perry. I'm up usually, well, through the week I get up at 4 to go to work. So I have the Palstar next to the bedside. I hear some of you guys on in the morning. You can't get on the weekends. This is rare. I like to sleep until at least about now. I never sleep in past 6 or so. This morning I was listening to you guys. What the heck, I'll go down and say hello at least. And UMU and Kevin and Perry, I'm hearing you fellas. You guys are coming in here, as a fellow once said, like 3 acres of garlic. But the rest of the station's having a little bit of trouble with, so it's probably on my end with my NVIS antenna. Hi. Perry, the audio stuff here is just right now using a Heil PR40 and using the software in the Anon for the audio and been fiddling with it. It's pretty good, I think, at least. So yeah, get it around there. Over to you, KD4UMU, and I don't know if your name was Dave or Dan, but nice signal last time around as well as Kevin and Perry. KD4UMU, and if that is incorrect, somebody can hit me with a bat. KDWM.
All right, I'm going to go ahead real quick and pick up N4EDQ. N4EDQ, go ahead and pick it up and send it back around to me. KD4UMU, Dan here in Shepherdsville.
Hey there, Dan. Brother. Good morning. KD4UMU and EDQ. I just fired her up this morning, let it warm up. Haven't been on 75 for quite a while, and thought we'd jump in this morning, first of the year, make our yearly good morning there. So I want to wish everybody happy New Year. Keep it short, and I'll give it back to you there, Dan. Good morning yet, but I think she'll pop in here probably a little bit later. Kevin, GDQ. KD4, UMU, Memphisville, N4EDQ. Back to you, and good morning.
Oh, yeah, very good, Henry. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll be sending it around to Kevin here. He's in the round table this morning. And, very nice big signal coming out of your station there. And this morning I'm running the Flex 3000 and running it into the commander amplifier and out to the dipole via the kilowatt matchbox tuner. So looks like everything's going out. No reflective power, so that's all good. Well, maybe a little bit. But I don't think 1.2 is going to hurt anything. Anyway, nice sound signals all the way around. Chris pretty good over here from Virginia, and Gary NKA's coming in quite well from Deltona, Florida down there. Hearing you pretty good there. And of course Perry always comes in with a nice big signal down here. So that and Ed up in Ohio is doing quite well as well. So pretty good on that. And the PR40 sounds pretty good. I'm running one of the PR22 utility mics on this, but I'm running zero equalization. So it's just what the mic is doing. And from what I hear, people tell me that it sounds just exactly like it. So whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, I don't know. But there she is. But anyway, good to hear everybody on this morning. And yeah, we brought in the new year kind of like sleep, but awoken with the sounds of exploding whatever it was out there. So I think mine was actually pistol rounds, and somebody had put 3 clips through it. So somebody was really happy. I just hope they'll know where their rounds are at. All right, with that, I'll send it on around to Kevin. KK4GZQ and the group. UMU.
Okay, Dan. Real good. Golly, you've got such a commanding signal over here this morning. KD4UMU and the group. KK4GZQ. Dan, you're blowing the doors out over here, and it sounds great, too. It just wants me to, want to do my best Ric Flair impression, woo! Hello and good morning to Henry, N4EDQ. Henry, I've been wondering about you. I'm glad to hear you in here, and you sound like you picked it up right where we left it off. You sound good, man. Happy New Year to you. Your station sounds excellent. Gary down in Deltona, WD4NKA, is also running a Yaesu FT101EX. And I tell you, Gary, your audio is just penetrating, and you do a great job on a 40-meter vertical that's got an extra coil or whatever there at the feed point. For what it is, coming from where you're from, unbelievable. Really is. Anyway, I don't want to keep it long here. Kevin is waiting, KA2Z&I, and I'm going to turn it to him and have him send it over to Chris, W4SVA in Shenandoah Valley. Ed, sounding great on the Anon. Nice to hear you in here, and I'm glad you decided to get up and jump in the rotation. Perry, good deal on all. Talking to Ed about the Anon, I tell you, I really like those radios. And I think that's about it. I don't want to keep it here too long. It's a big group. So, and Ed, Dan, the 3000 again with the Commander amp is just sounding awesome. And I'd like to have one of those PR20 or 22s or one of those. This is the only Heil mic that I have is the Gold Line here for GM5. And it's okay, but I think one of those PR20s or 22s will probably suit this rig a little better. And I've been keeping an eye out when I've been seeing you at some of these handfests, and you'll better believe I'm going to look at one at Dayton when it comes up here this year. So with that, here it comes to Kevin in Wisconsin. It goes down to Chris in Shenandoah Valley, W4SVA. And good morning, Chris. Sounding great over here. You're blowing the doors off. KA2Z&I to take it. Here's KK4GZQ group.
Okay, Kevin, very good. KK4GZQ here in the group this morning. KK2Z&I. Good morning to you, Kevin. Great signal in here, as well as you, Kevin. You guys are about 20 over 9. I think, let's see, Dan Henry there, he was coming in at about 5 to 10 over 9. So starting to hear some good signals in there. I had to check out for a while. A couple of the guys I couldn't hear, and I needed to grab some breakfast. But Happy New Year to everyone. Sounded like the troops are starting to assemble here on 3885. So I won't keep it here too long. Just wanted to jump in and say good morning to everyone. So everyone is from the stations that I can hear up is sounding good. Chris is up and down a little bit there. Still copy 100% there, Chris, directly. I've had to use the web SDR for a couple of the guys. Perry, you're still coming in here pretty good. You're about 5 to 10 over 9. A little bit of noise on the band here this morning. So, without further ado, let me get it over to Chris there, and thanks for getting it back into rotation. And we'll start taking some notes here. And next W4 SVA to take it here in the fine group this morning to ZNI.
KA2ZNI. I was hearing some carriers in there. One was on frequency and one was a little off. Hopefully I'm making it over top of them. Good morning to Henry and for EDQ, coming in here very well into the Shenandoah Valley. My name is Chris and I'm about 15 miles south of Harrisonburg, Virginia. And I think that's the last new one since my last transmission. And yeah, K8EWM got your name, Ed. Alright, got it down on the scratch pad this time. I don't have a whole lot more to say here. I think I'm going to head down to CW here and see what I can scare up. And I might be back in here later. I need some kind of activity to wake me up. I'm still not very much awake. So maybe that'll force me to wake up. So I'll make this my final for now. And then I'll jump back in here a little bit, maybe right as the sun is coming up. I believe I turn it down to Gary, WD4NKA. This is W4SVA.
WD4NKA in the group from W3 and Lamar. Real good, Gary. You're starting to pick your signals. Came up a little bit that last go around. Still using WebSCR to pick you up, but nevertheless, you're coming up there, Gary. Good morning to. What was I going to say here? Number one. Good morning to you, Henry, and for EDQ. Great to hear you, buddy. It's been a while since I heard you on here. Great to hear you. Good signal up here in Pennsylvania this morning. Ed, I remember before I was hearing a little bit of an echo on your audio. I don't know if you have the monitor on while you're talking. That may be it. But I remember I heard it before, and you did something and it stopped. But I am hearing a little bit of an echo on your signal. But besides that, I mean, it sounds really good. I didn't even notice it the first time there, so it's not like it's, oh my God, listen to all that reverb. It's just something subtle. But I did notice it because you were awful strong that last transmission there. But the PR40 sounds great. That's a great microphone. I've never owned one. I'm on a Behringer B1 at the moment. My father got me for Christmas because my other B1 stopped working. I don't know what happened to it, but I have this and my Shure SM7B. But I wouldn't mind having a PR40 because everybody I hear on those sounds really good. And I never owned a Heil microphone. Well, I owned the SM58, SM57, the little hand mic, the mic, the stage microphone. I had one of those a few years back, but I think I lost it, honestly. I think it got lost in the move. I left it at the other property before we moved. And Dan, I can't believe, I'm not believing you when you say there's no EQ on that. You sound too good. That thing sounds great, Dan. I'm just joking about the don't believe you part. With no EQ on the Flex and the Heil microphone there, Dan, it just works. It sounds great. There's nothing that I could even recommend that you do. I thought you had it all EQ'd and all. The last thing I was expecting you to say was you're not running any EQs. Just the microphone doing what the microphone does. So kudos to you, Dan. Hats off, man. It sounds really, really good this morning, and you have a big bombing signal as always. And good morning to you, Kevin. Good morning, buddy. Happy New Year to you. Sounding great up here this morning as well. Kevin, you always have a big signal. Usually always a channel master here in the mornings, so it's great to hear you. And yeah, I don't know. I wonder where Craig is. I'm sure he has off today, but he was probably up late last night partying it up with the family. So if any of you guys have spoken to him since the last time he was on the air here, maybe you can speak on if everything's all right on his end, or if he's just working a lot. And I think Gary, the gas man, has been, if I remember correctly, he said he was going back to work. Maybe that's why we haven't heard him much here in the mornings. Well, but man, these static crashes are starting to calm down a little bit. But boy, oh boy, these static crashes have been brutal all morning. It's summertime operating conditions like in the middle of July at the moment. Or it was anyway. So, but things are starting to slowly improve. So, over to you, Ed. And I'll listen in to see if we hear that little bit of echo on your voice. I'll crank the speakers up, go in the other room, get a cup of coffee after you make yours. So over to you, K8EWM in the morning New Year's group, the New Year's edition of the Morning AM crew here, W3MMR.
Okay, Perry, W3MMR in the large group from Kilowatt 8 Echo Whiskey Mike. I think the last time we may have spoke on here, you mentioned about hearing that echo, and when I rebooted the Anon, it went away. So interested to see if you hear it again. So, good morning to all again. And Dan, KD4UMU. I had to look up on QRZ to make sure I had your name correct, and I did. And nice signal. I was looking at your Tenedyne antenna in that ice storm. Wow, that's pretty scary. Wow. Yeah, New Year's Eve last night, it got kind of crazy around here. I think I was probably in bed by 10 o'clock. Heard what was a abnormal number of gunshots for New Year's Eve around here. Not a lot, but more than what, you raised a couple eyebrows, and you didn't know if it was New Year's Eve or they started purging or what around here. I don't know. So, yeah, Dan, using that, I think you're the one with the TR20 with no equalization. Sounds great. I usually use an Electro Voice RE320 here, but I switched over to the PR40. I was listening back and forth, and I could hear virtually no difference between the two. I'm using this one for now only because I have it. That's just what it is. Gary NK down there in Florida having a tough time with you, buddy. So let me get it around here in the event that other people are having trouble hearing me. But real quick, Perry, are you hearing that echo again?
Yeah, it's very subtle, but it's there. I hear it more on other streets. It seems to have gotten better. There's sometimes a little bit of RF or what. I think it's real slight.
Okay, well, like I said, last time I rebooted and it was gone. So, okay, very good. Last time I think I gave it to Henry in Georgia. N-free EDQ, if you can copy, if that's incorrect. This is EWM, go ahead.
Yeah, KE. Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Gary. My goodness, long time. You and I have not spoken. Real long time. The other day, I heard your call sign, and I looked it up, and I thought, boy, that sounds familiar, and then I realized that I know we talked on 2 meters. I know, and I'm pretty sure when I was vice president of the OARC that you were coming to the curriculum once in a while. And I believe you also used to talk to Harold Card. What was this called? K4. Oh, gosh, I forget. I had it on my head a minute ago because I was going to ask you about it if you've heard from him lately. Anyway, good to hear you. I'm on HF quite often. Very little on 2 meters. We moved up to Georgia from Florida, went to Daytona Beach and Eustis, Mount Dora, and then we moved up here to Blue Ridge, Georgia, here in the mountains. So I'm 70 years old now, and I'm still working. We still own a construction company. I'm still doing getting a link every so often, sold the air conditioning business. Anyway, Happy New Year to you and your family and all you guys. Perry, you're sounding good. You're 5'9", a good 10 over periodically. And Gary, you were coming in about 10 over also. Kevin sounds good. C&I sounded good when he was in there, and then also the other Kevin, CQ, you're always banging in here, and Chris, you sounded real well also. So Dan's always banging in. Dan, that 3000 sounds great. You're really doing a super job with that. Turn the volume down. Let me give it over to that you gave it to me to give it back to you, so I'm going to do that. KD4UMU. One more question there, Gary. I did. You remember WB4OOS used to work at AEF? I tracked him down one time, and but he moved, I think, to Tennessee. And then one of the other guys from the 7.2 machine, he moved up to Tennessee. I've seen him every so often. The kid that had the 1.2 machine, his name just slipped my mind. And I just bought a radio from him not too long ago. So you can see the old mind's slipping away. So let me know whether you still remember Harold Card there. Okay, here I'm rambling. Kevin, you
to see what's happening. I'm losing it. KD4GZQ. KD4UMU. Take it.
K1 Big Yellow Dog, Massillon. Big Yellow Dog, go ahead, and when you get done, send it back to me. KD4UMU.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, and looks like another year is here, so for all us old folks, put one over on Mother Nature for another year. Now, if we drop dead, they got to change the date on the tombstone. So anyway, hearing everyone just fine. You're all sounding super good, and let me shoot it back to you, and we'll sit here and listen to the group. This is K1 Big Yellow Dog, Massillon, Ohio.
Well, all right. Big signal coming out of Massillon, Ohio this morning. And, yeah, guys, appreciate the comments on the audio on this end. Actually, what I was doing on AM, running my TS2000, and I had a 522 connected to it. And, a lot of the old-timers and stuff, man, helped me get the thing set up. Bill down there in Montgomery, Alabama, along with a couple others there, got me straightened out on the TS2000 and the radio to get it to where it was sounding pretty good on AM. And, I by chance happened to get a call from K9IED, Bob Hall, here on AM. And, we just ragged you, and he just wanted to know what I had, so I told him. And he said he was trying out one of the newer mics and with no equalization or that. Well, by golly, man, he sounds pretty daggone good. He was just telling me what he had, And I thought, well, that's a really good sounding mic. So I bought one and put it on the Plex radio. So that's working out pretty good. Anyway, nice big signals coming in. So the band's coming around there pretty good. Still hearing everybody okay. Gary from down Deltona down there, still copying you quite well on that vertical. Man, that's amazing. The antenna you're on and getting such a good signal here into Kentucky. And let's see, back on the Tennedyne, Ed, you talking about my Tennedyne with the house on it. It's just metal and tubing and stuff like that, extruded aluminum, so, type stock. So, hey, if you break something, you bend something and all that, you can yank the antenna down and actually fix it. I actually had grass wasp that was nesting inside the element stand right connects to the boom. And, of course, I've seen all the wasps going in and out of it, and I thought, oh, that's not going to turn out well at all, And it didn't. It actually corroded one of the elements, and it broke off. So the antenna come down. I sleeved it on the inside, the outside, cleaned all the other elements up. The thing I did different this time when I put the antenna back up was adding a liberal amount of RTV to block those large holes up. So no more grass or wasp in the element. And I never even knew we had grass wasp here, but, I've seen the mud daubers, of course, building a nest on vertical walls and undercover, things like that, but had never really noticed or had been introduced to the grass wasp, but until I seen him going in the antenna to clean all of that stuff out of the inside of the element. So, hey, they're here, so let's to this area, just I never knew about them. Anyway, with that, let's go ahead and send it on around, and where was I going? Oh, over to Kevin. KK4GZQ to pick it up. KD4UMU.
You know what, Dan? I'm sitting here, and I'm for some reason I'm thinking that Henry didn't get it. Did he get a shot at it over? He did. Okay. Told on myself, didn't I, Henry? Yeah, that's right. KD4UMU in the group, KK4GZQ, and I still got the Shure 522 that you gave me, Dan, and I love using that mic. It sounds good on a couple different reeds. I definitely want to find one of those mics like you have there and get on this one. This one's got a little bit more bassline in it. I guess the Gold Line, or whatever they call this one, the GM5, has got a HC5 and an HC6 element in it. And, of course, the wider element is much better here on the rig. And actually, the little toggle switch gave up the ghost on me. That's the only thing I can probably... what I see on the mics is it just fell apart, and it's just so small, but I just went ahead and straight wired it in the HC5 position. But anyway, good to hear. I think Chris went ahead and signed out, and there's also a braking station out there I want to check on before I send it up to Kevin. KC3 Alpha Tango, are you still there? KK4GZ2 in the group. Okay, I know he broke in, and I think he couldn't hear Gary down in Florida, and I don't think we ever got around to picking him up. Guys, good morning to all of you. Still a good group here. S73 to Chris, W4SVA, and good morning to Steve up in Massillon, K8BYD. And Steve, you always seem to have just a commanding signal down here yourself into the Lexington, Kentucky area. Good morning to you, and Happy New Year. K82ZNI in Wisconsin. To take it, here's KK4GZQ in the group. Good morning, Kevin. No, you don't have too much bass on it there, over.
KN4AK. And there's Bob. Good morning, Bob. Back here on Seven joining us. This morning, nice signals from everybody. And somebody, my apologies. Dan sounded good there on the microphone setup of the flex. I'm Bob Lyle. I talked to Bob the other night, the night before last, o'clock in the morning, and I guess he was moving from Illinois, getting things set up, set back up there so I can there, and I guess it was about a week. Mr. Harlan stopped in and talked to Dave, W980, and a little bit, and let us know what's going on. So, for him on there a couple of times here in a week or so. So I stepped out here in a prairie, pretty nice. Yeah, the band conditions were a little bit noisy. But I think it's starting to sit down, and looks like signals come up. I think stronger than the last two go around, as well as you, Kevin. Probably the band's starting to shorten up here just a little bit, and are coming in even stronger than they were last go around. Got anything? We love the honeybees. I'll tell you what, my father-in-law had a honeybee farm for, and it's just incredible when you get fresh honey right making a big difference. So anyway, let's see. week and a half. My schedule varies, so it's these days on sometimes. Gas man's been busy, and a couple of days before New Year's, but I know he's got his hands rather full with other projects going on. And what you're running on, so we're starting to get over here, and Liz and Chris is one of ours. Well, we'll really won't say it's the trip. And I think I'm going to make this stop here, guys. I'm just going to listen down. I'm going to go out, sit down here and eat and listen to some good and also but Happy New Year all the way around. Happy New Year to you up there, BYD. Happy New Year. And Terry, Henry, Dan. Chris is gone. Gary down there in Florida. And I'm going to listen down there for a couple of hours. I'll get down on 3880 here in a little bit. And as long as so let's send it down to Gary if he's still around. Gary this morning. It's just bad conditions up there. WD4MK8 and fine woods storms for the trace experiences,
ZMI, Kevin. This is your last Corona. Say something.
Yep.
The next go round myself, because when it starts getting to be around 6:45, people start waking up around here, and but it can take 45 minutes for it to come around. So here next go round I am, if not, that's the way it is. Up there in Blue Ridge, yeah, great making contact. Same trade. Al was WB4KNG. This is called. The other fellow that had talking about and celebrated his birthday, I think yesterday or the day before. I've really been in touch with him on Facebook, and I forgot his call. One of his Elmers. I knew Mark since he was about 8 years old. His father taught at Woodpark High School and our amateur radio club back in the early 70s. So yeah, Mark and his family and I go way back. Our club call then was a novice called WN4TJZ, and we ran a Johnson Ranger 1 and a Hammerlin HQ 140. I remember that. That was really nice. And a folded dipole. So we're going back to the 70s. But Mark and I go way back. And Doug, we used to call him Ugly Doug. Yeah, WA4OOS. And I knew they moved up, I guess, to Tennessee way. I lost touch with them. You probably remember Charlie. Before Charlie passed away, I got all of his VHS. His home, big home. But, and it's called All Things Wireless and Letterpress. It's a blog that I keep that covers some of my radio activity and some of my letterpress activity. But I photographed OARC's field day in 1981. A few years ago, put it up as sort of a commemorative. But that was the year that we held field day at the John Young racetrack off of Lee Road. Out of that, it's a series of photographs I took of Point, and I narrate them. But you can Google my call. But the name of the blog is All Things Wireless and Letterpress, and you'll probably get a kick out of the nostalgia. I've got some of the guys that were in the club then, and so on. And you mentioned AN4U. He is now K4 SSE. And I think he's still in town. I think he's still out around Sugarloaf Mountain. We're going to be selling some boat anchors down there with a friend of mine, KA4USN. You guys make it down to Annotation and alligators from WD4NKA. So, anyway, Henry, hope you copied that. I'm going to have to drink some coffee, but I may be back. Again, good walking up. So far, the signal sound pretty good down here. Perry, let's see if you're probably catching me on the web SCR. W3MMR and the group.
Hey, Perry, can we throw Bob in there real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Bob.
HH, go ahead, pick it up and send it up there to Perry, W3MMR.
Yeah, we'll do it. This is Sanjay, Perry. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. WD4NK and the group KN4HH. Good morning to you, Gary. I most certainly will look you up. I'll be at the Hamcation this year, for sure, and I look forward to it. And good morning to you, Perry, and Kevin, and Steve, and the whole gang. And hi, Kevin, if you're still listening. Ohio. Bob joined us here on Thursday night when the conditions are right on the mullet deck. Bob and I always have a good time because we both have ICO 720s and 730 modulators, heavily modified, and we have a big time talking about them. So I enjoy visiting with Bob at
my two best
so that's always a big time. Okay, guys, we got a while to
Happy
here. But I'll set up there, Perry. You probably got a Good morning to you and Happy New Year. W3MMR, KN4HH.
Chasing a group in the 3MMR. Happy New Year. Got signal up here this morning on 20 over S. So great to hear you. Glad you jumped in. Great for them. New XLR came in here. My father brought me over some remaining get the motor a small amount, 25 feet. Not, I mean, actually, I set 500. That's like $1,500. My cable. They wanted it back, and you set me 200. Enough my cable will last the rest of his lifetime. I'll make up a new XLR. But nevertheless, have a great Happy New Year. It's been really great here this morning with you guys. And good. Relax. So 7-3 to you, Bob, to Ed, Chris SBA, and Gary. She's still in there. Anyway, take care, guys. Happy New Year. KEWM.
All right, Perry, real good. Good hooking up with you again this morning. Real quick, from what you're hearing, do you still hear that little reverb or whatever? Okay, I rebooted my radio. Who would have thought we'd be saying that 15 years ago? Joe, you have a great New Year's Day and a fantastic 2020. And hearing most everybody pretty well now. Anybody I couldn't hear. I think Jerry NKA I was having some trouble with. Jerry, I think they said you were on a vertical. I switched to my vertical and a little bit better, but not much. So, boy, I really enjoyed it this morning. This is pretty cool. Yeah, usually on weekends I'm just... This morning I just couldn't take it. I get down here. So I got a couple of boat anchors here too, guys. I use an AF67 and a Ranger boat with a little AL811 amplifier with 3572Bs in it. And that gives me about a 100-watt carrier. I don't run it any more than that. But the luminous combination, I have those hooked up with a little HQ100 and the Rangers with a Collins R398 that's modified. And really nice receiver. I've had a lot of boat anchor receivers go through here, and that one with the modified push-pull audio is just superb, and this electricity is as good as it gets for back then. So I'm not going to stick in here any longer. Either fellas going to get out of here and go upstairs and get a little something to eat, and meet some other guys down the band in about an hour or so. So enjoyed it. Thank you very much. You guys all have a great day and a Happy New Year. I was giving it to Henry, N4EDQ, and I'll try to do that again. N4EDQ, Henry, if you can hear me, go ahead and pick it up. This is Kilowatt 8 Echo.
Okay, very good, Ed. Ed, have a Happy New Year, and we'll hope to work you soon. Gary, if you're still listening, Jim Mahoney on the 14712 machine that I was talking about. Jim Mahoney, he's like about an hour from me. I forget his call right now, but he used to fly airplanes with Junior Johnson. Anyway, Happy New Year, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure. Guys, I'm going to bow out myself for a few minutes, and I might be back here around maybe or so. If y'all still going to be in here, or whoever's going to be in here. I think Kevin might be in here still. Perry, you be good. Say hi to your dad. Haven't worked your dad for quite a while either. Guys, really enjoyed it. Kevin, Gary, Ed, Dan, the other Kevin, and Chris, Terry, Steve, and 25 KN4HH. And let me give it over there to KD4UMU. Dan, good over here. Telling you, and I'm still running my 101 double E since I put it online about a year and a half ago or so. I haven't touched it. I left the dials like they are. I haven't even tweaked it up with the FL2100B amplifier. I just figured if it's working, leave well enough alone. Don't even move anything. It's almost like it's sitting on 3885 for the last year and a half or so. All right, guys. Getting into KD4UMU.
K1BYD, you're up.
Okay. Take a minute here to get back to the operating position. Okay, fellas, heard everyone, and you're all sounding pretty darn good. So, you fellas enjoy, have a lot of fun on AM, etc. A lot of things you can do. I want to wish everyone once again a Happy New Year, be safe, and, well, we'll see what this year brings. 73 all, be good, be safe. This is K1 Big Yellow Dog, Massillon, 73.
All righty, very good. We'll catch you later on, and I'm going to actually follow suit myself. And Kevin, there was another breaker in there, but I did not get the call, so maybe you can pick them up there. But we'll do the same thing on this end. Great to hear everybody on this morning on New Year's Day, 2020.
You want to throw that 19 in there, bro. Those are up a few years back. Anyway, probably going to do just like was recommended, but today's going to be one of those nice easy days of sitting back and hopefully getting nothing done and just enjoy being here at the house. So good day off work today, that's for sure. Anyway, with that, we'll say 73 and a half. Like that nice up here in Suffersville, Kentucky this morning. So with that, Kevin, pick it up. Here she comes. KK4GZQ 73 from KD4UMU. Okay, Dan, KD4UMU in the group, KK4GZQ, and you've of course, I know you're probably having a hard time hearing me now as well, Dan, but our path kind of bad up. Dan, with who has signed out there, do you know where I need to send it to, Blake? Over?
Yeah, you'll send it to KA2ZNI. There's also I picked out a female voice in there, but I did not get her call. Maybe you heard that. But Kevin ZNI was after you. Then over to Gary WD4NKA, and then around to Bob N4 KN4HH, and that's about people so far. Ed K8EWM. Nope, he signed out. So, yeah, that just like I told you, Bob was the last one on the list there. KD4UMU.
Okay, Dan, much appreciated on that. KD4UMU in the group, KK4GZQ, and best 73 to those who've signed. I've got to check by Kevin's name, KA2ZNI, but I will try Kev. And if not, we'll send it on down to Gary, Never Kiss Alligator, WD4NKA, and if he doesn't pick it up, I'm going to try to send it to Bob, KN4HH. Good morning. Down in Peachtree City, Georgia. And I guess K8BYD got out of there as well, so they're coming and going here this morning. And Happy New Year's to any of you guys that have joined late, and been a nice group here this morning. Quite a few doing pretty decent here. All in all, I have to say. I think that's all I got on this now. Let me send it on up to Kevin in Wisconsin, and if he didn't pick it up, I'll try to go south down to Gary. KA2ZNI, are you still with us? KK4GZQ in the group.
Hey, Kevin said he was going to go get breakfast.
Okay, Bob. I wonder if Gary's still there. I don't have a mark by Gary's name, so I'm going to try to send it there. I think Gary was, hopefully I've got it right, Bob, that Gary was going to pick you up, I guess. WD4NKA with the group, is that right? KK4GZQ.